Okay, hello, here we are again, and I wanted to go over two materials. And these two materials are Lilyflore and Lilial. I will start with Lilyflore. So Lilyflore is crazy amazing. Wow, it's kind of thick and it's clear. Sorry, here, maybe this will help. And it is a funky little material because it's a top note, it's a middle note, and it's a bottom note, which is amazing. It lasts for a month on the test strip. The average use that you use like up to is 0.6%. So one drop of this will go a long way. And it is a worker material, actually, which is really interesting. It is going to do two things. It is going to bring volume and it's going to bring some structure. And Lilyflore, I guess I'm going to say it is soft. It is not overwhelming. It is not strong. It's not in your face. Lilyflore is almost generically floral. It's a beautiful, soft floral, kind of like if you think Mayal, if you know Mayal, kind of like that. Kind of like hydroxol, a little bit like that. However, this lasts a really, really long time, gives volume, gives structure, and you don't need a lot of it. It lasts forever. So this to me is more of a worker type material because it's not that strong and it goes with your florals. And this, I'm just telling you, can go with any type of floral. It's really in a manner of, it's a really soft, almost generic floral, but you kind of do get like the lily flower and lily of the valley or muguet. It definitely is there in that sense, but it is not so strong of a floral scent that it's going to make a huge amount of difference with the floral scent or the floral aroma. To me, its purpose is to give volume to your floral, and it's going to give some structure to your floral aroma or your floral accord that you're making or whatever. But it is just going to be in the top, the middle, and the bottom of your formula. It's going to be everywhere. And to me, that is why I love this material. It's really amazing, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. It's just crazy. A month? Are you kidding me? That's pretty amazing. And it's so forgiving. It can go with anything. It doesn't, I definitely would say put some other florals with it. So if you're wanting to go in a specific direction, like, I don't know, magnolia, put some magnolia stuff with it, and this will help support it and give it some volume, give it some structure, everything that I just said. Love it. I really, really like it. So now another one. This one has several different names. It is Lilial, Lilial. I'm going to destroy the other word. Liliastralis, something like that. But it has probably 2 or 3 other more names that it's typically called. But if you just type in on whatever website, Lilial, Lilial, it will come up and you'll see the other words to it. It is restricted to 2%, and it is a middle note. This one's very different than the other. This one's stronger. It's lily flowers, like right present, like a middle note. It's kind of funny where this is a middle note, and yet this is a middle note and a base note and a top note, and the aroma is just not in your face. This one is right here, and it's standing, it's round, and it's like, here I am, and it's right there for you to smell. So its purpose and the reason it's more aromatic, and I don't mean aromatic as in it smells more. The reason it smells more, it's diffusive. That is one of its things as a worker material. It's going to be diffusive. So it's going to take this stuff, it's going to take your other floral notes that you have, and it's going to make them more diffusive and bring them up and lift them out. So that's what this one does. It is 236 hours. Wow, that's a really, really long time. But it makes sense. It's very clean, floral. And even though I say clean, with that diffusive smell, if you think of your other floral materials that have a diffusive property to them, they almost have a fizzy note, like a effervescent aspect to them. This has that. And it's, even though it does have that fizziness aspect to it, it still is clean. It's still very, very clean. Here's what I want to tell you about this, and this one's very common. It's used a lot. It is becoming more and more restricted. Ifra hates this product, and I'm like, oh, really? Because that is going to mean I like it even more. I'm not just being real with you. I'm like that. I'm like, oh, they want to restrict it? Then I really want to find out what's the deal. That's just how I am. And especially in the EU, I think in the EU, this one's, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear, I think in the EU, this one is all out banned. And that happened like in 2016. But here in America and a bunch of other places, you can still use it, and it's restricted to 2%. The thing is with this, it's a little, I don't want to scare you, but I'm going to use the word aldehydic. It's a little aldehydic, but not like your true aldehydes that are crazy and you need to dilute it to 1%. However, this is a little, I think it's important. It's a little bit unstable. So here's what you do. Get your Lilial and dilute it to 50%, 50%, and keep it that way. And you really do need to keep it in a cold place. In fact, if you are one of those where you already have a couple of materials in the refrigerator, keep it in the refrigerator. It's going to help it be a little bit more stable. And yeah, it just, because of its chemistry, you just have to trust me on it. But with its chemistry, it can be a little bit, unstable. So if you just, which I did, mine's at 50%. I have a big jar, but I don't have a lot. I don't have much of it. I want more, but I keep it at 50% because it will, in Perfumer's alcohol. It's the alcohol that will help it keep it more stable. So in Perfumer's alcohol, I keep it at 50%. You can also keep it in the fridge as well. If you're not going to dilute it, keep it in the fridge. Like, really, you need to. It's one, it doesn't, so you'll go online and you'll look on the website, and with it, it's, keep cool, whatever. And it doesn't say fridge. This is one I will tell you, keep it in the fridge. And even if you don't do that, I live in a basement. It's very cold down here, 24/7, year round. It's always cold, which I love. But I keep it at 50%. So it's at 50% and it's always cool. So do that. I'm just telling you, you're not going to find it online. If you dig and dig and dig and do a lot of research on this, you will eventually find that people will tell you, oh, you should do this because of its structure, blah, 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 whatever. It's the same thing that I've said, but I'll say it again. When you store your aldehydes, your true aldehydes, like if you get it at 100%, let's just say you get it at 100% at home, and you've made your 1% solution of your aldehyde C12 MNA. You have that, so that's good to go. It's going to be stable because it's in the alcohol. That's where, to me, it's important to do Perfumer's alcohol with your aldehydes. It will keep it more stable. I'm here to tell you, mark my words. But when you have this, it is, and you're going to store it because you're using your 1%. When you store this, it is best to store it at 50%. So make it into a 50% solution with Perfumer's alcohol, not IPM, Perfumer's alcohol, and you will help it to last a lot longer. Promise. If your aldehydes start to crystallize and they become solid, chunk them. Chunk them. That's a marker. It's letting you know it's past its prime and it's not good. Also, the other thing you can do is you can smell, and if it's like really off, some of you will be like, oh my God, every time they're brand new and they smell off. I get it. It's hilarious. And I get it because that's the first thing I can hear you saying, because that's the first thing I would have said. But when you get used to your aldehydes and what they smell like, you'll start to know if something's like really off. And if it's really off, you'll probably see the crystals as well. That will just let you know that your aldehydes, your true aldehydes, are past its prime. But you can prevent that for a while, for a good while. You'll really extend the life of it if you store your true aldehydes at 50% in Perfumer's alcohol. So I hope that helps. I love these two. I really do. So Lilyflore is kind of new at Perfumers, at creating perfume. But I think it's been out there for a while. I think it's been out in the wild for a while. I think it's kind of common, but I'm just really impressed with it. Really impressed. Soft, round, floral, with some lily in there, and it just lasts forever. And it's going to give what? Yes, volume and structure to your formulas. And then your Lilial is going to be stored at 50%, even past being stored at 50%, which store your Lilial at 50%. But also, if you're storing it, but if you have it where you use it with your dropper, make it at 50%, and it will last longer. Trust me, please do that. It's going to help your formulas become diffusive. So that's what it does. And it's beautiful as well. Very different, not near the same. This is way stronger and a little aldehydic. And the aldehydic, that is why I diluted it to 50%. It's because it's going to help it become more stable and last longer. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. God, I thought this was going to be really short, and I'm almost at 16 minutes already, but I talked a lot. So thank you so much for being here, and you can support me by giving me a thumbs up if you like this. If you have not subscribed, hit subscribe. Right next to the subscribe button is a bell. If you click on that bell, it will give you notifications of when I'm going live or when I have posted a brand new video so you don't miss them. So you can do that. Also, I have a Patreon page. It is patreon.com/Mountain Aromatics. And for your support, I give you formulas, I give you samples, all kinds of stuff. So samples of formulas and samples of accords, kind of like whatever you're wanting, that kind of stuff. And I post on there, so even if you're not a Patreon of mine, you can still go and on the page I post stuff, information and stuff that I don't necessarily go over on here. So you can get some stuff there that way for free. And then also I post as well for Patreons. So in addition to stuff that I give you as a Patreon, there's stuff I post that are for Patreons only as well. So I think there's 3 extra formulas on there. And whenever you become a Patreon of any tier, doesn't matter, you have access to all of that. So the second you become a Patreon, you have access to all kinds of stuff. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I will see you on the next Mountain Aromatics. And get creative. I'll see you soon.